The Premier League has a serious problem, and it's called Manchester City. While Arsenal and Liverpool dominate headlines, Pep Guardiola's machine is quietly gearing up for another title charge. With Pep's history, fresh signings and Erling Haaland still the deadliest striker alive, dismissing City this season would be a huge mistake. It's almost amusing how quickly the football conversation this summer turned away from City. The former treble winners, a team that has dominated English football for almost a decade and suddenly treated like a fading force. Arsenal's young core gets the hype, Declan Rice dominating midfield, Bukayo Saka back from injury and back to being one of the league's best wingers, and Martin Odegaard leading the attack with a bit of flair. Liverpool, fresh off reclaiming the league title, are being talked up as the team to beat once again, with pundits wondering if they can build a new era of dominance under fresh leadership. The media loves novelty and City don't provide it. But this is where the narrative is deceptive. Pep's teams have always thrived when people start writing them off. After losing the title to Liverpool in 2020, pundits said Guardiola's methods were being figured out, that the high line was finished and that City were entering decline. What happened? They rattled off 3 consecutive league titles in response. The same story emerged after their Champions League failures. People said Pep overthinks big games, but he responded by finally conquering Europe with style in 2023. If there's one thing you learn about City, it's that when the story shifts away from them, that's exactly when they're most dangerous. This isn't just media noise, it affects rivals too. Arsenal and Liverpool will come into this season believing City are vulnerable. They'll convince themselves the dynasty is slipping. But that false sense of security is exactly what Pep loves to exploit. Let's talk about Guardiola himself, because Pep is the single biggest reason City are still terrifying. Across Barcelona, Bayern and City, he's managed 15 full seasons. He's won the league 11 times. 11. That's a 73% win rate in the most grueling competitions in Europe. And there's a pattern that matters. Pep has never gone 2 consecutive seasons without winning the league. Not once. At Barcelona, when Real Madrid stole a Liga in 2012, Pep left and reset. At Bayern, he swept every domestic title 3 years in a row. At City, he stumbled in his first year, then built the most dominant English side we've seen since Ferguson's Manchester United. Even when Liverpool broke through in 2019-20, Guardiola came right back with a quadruple of league titles. Unlike other managers who rely on one philosophy until it fades, Guardiola reinvents his system season by season. Remember when he had no striker after Sergio Aguero left? He shifted City into a fluid false 9 system that still crushed the league. Then Haaland arrived and people questioned if Pep could adapt to a traditional number 9. 52 goals and a treble later, people got their answer. The danger now is that Pep has that extra motivation again. Missing the league last season doesn't make him weaker, it makes him sharper. Rivals hoping he finally burns out are ignoring 2 decades of evidence. Guardiola, down years are always followed by a furious response. Depth is where City crush everyone. Most clubs rely on a handful of stars, and when those players get injured, their season collapses. Arsenal last year struggled when Saliba picked up an injury. Liverpool fell apart when Van Dijk missed some games in 2021. City, they lost De Bruyne for months and still competed across every competition. Rodri is the engine and he barely puts a foot wrong. He hasn't lost a game for the club or country since early 2023, which is an insane stat for a midfielder playing every 3 days. Behind him, you've got Kovacic adding control, Nunez offering dynamism, and Silva capable of plugging any gap on the pitch. New arrival Reinders strengthens that midfield rotation even further. His ability to carry the ball through lines and dictate tempo gives Pep another weapon in games where control is everything. Phil Foden is entering his prime, now looking like the heir to De Bruyne's creative throne. In attack, the introduction of Chucky adds a fresh spark. His flair, dribbling and unpredictability give City a different profile than the departed Grealish and Alvarez. And defensively, the signing of Ryan Nouri provides energy and width at fullback, plus the ability to invert into midfield when Pep wants to overload the centre of the pitch. The scary part, even after departures, City's second 11 could still realistically compete for a top 4 spot. Imagine being an opponent fighting through 70 minutes against Haaland, Foden, and then seeing Cherki come on fresh. That's the psychological edge City have. Beating their starting lineup isn't enough because their depth can bury you. Guardiola didn't flood the transfer market with random names this summer, but the additions he made feel calculated. Reinders offers a fresh dimension in midfield, someone who can control games when Rodri is rested and also progress the ball with vertical passing. Cherki, meanwhile, is a wild card, blessed with flair, creativity and unpredictability. He's the sort of profile Pep can mould into a devastating playmaker. And Nouri gives them another option at left back, allowing City to rotate or even tuck him into midfield the way Pep likes to use inverted fullbacks. What ties these signings together is versatility. City can now lean further into their 3-2-4-1 shape with Stones stepping forward, Reinders operating as a tempo setter, Cherki floating in creative pockets, and Nouri providing width or cutting inside. These aren't just depth pieces, they're players who expand what Guardiola can do tactically. Rivals already struggle to cope with one version of City. With these new options, Pep can unleash 2 or 3 different systems in a single match. And then there's Erling Haaland. Somehow, people spent the summer debating whether he was overrated, which is absurd. Last season, he scored 22 league goals, and for almost anyone else, that's a career-defining season. For Haaland, it was considered a drop-off from his record-breaking debut year. At just 25, he's already rewriting what it means to be a Premier League striker. His combination of physicality and precision is unmatched. He doesn't need to dominate a game to kill you, he just needs one opening. Against teams that sit deep, he uses anticipation to ghost between defenders. Against high lines, he simply burns them with pace. And in the box, his finishing instincts are frightening. The idea that defenders figured him out last year is laughable. All they did was slow him from record-shattering to merely elite. And if he sharpens up again, we could see another 40-plus goal season. Winning isn't just about tactics or talent, it's about mentality, and City's winning mentality is unmatched. Liverpool may have cruised to the title last season, but sustaining that level is a different challenge altogether. City know all about longevity, they've mastered the art of peaking when it matters most. Arsenal cracked under the pressure in the run-in, but Pep's team has built its reputation on thriving in those high-stakes moments year after year. They've been through every scenario, chasing down leads, holding slim advantages, juggling domestic and European campaigns, and they rarely fold. When the season reaches April and May, when every point feels like a final, City don't panic, they thrive. Their muscle memory is built on years of handling pressure. Pep fuels this mentality by never letting players feel comfortable. Whether it's benching big names, rotating constantly, or demanding new tactical roles, he ensures nobody gets complacent. That intensity is exhausting, but it's why City stay sharp when others crumble. And in a league where titles are decided by thin margins, that mental edge is the ultimate separator. This year, the ingredients are all there for another storm. City didn't win the league last season, which means Pep has the hunger to respond. The new signings look promising, Haaland is still the most terrifying striker alive, the squad is refreshed, deep and motivated. Even more dangerous, the spotlight isn't on them. Arsenal are carrying the weight of expectation, Liverpool are looking to establish their dominance, and Chelsea are carrying chaos. City, they're quietly preparing without the suffering media circus reloading in the shadows. That's when Pep is at his deadliest. It feels like deja vu. Rivals are convincing themselves City are vulnerable, but by the time spring arrives, reality will set in. This isn't a fading dynasty, it's the calm before another storm. So, what do you think? Will City continue their bad form into the new season? Or will they fight back and reclaim the throne they've dominated for years? Let us know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.